I'm gonna say that you dropped a bunch of slurs. Like you were just
Yeah.
throwing them
What
out
kind of
there.
slurs? Whoa,
Racial,
whoa,
homophobic, transphobic,
whoa,
all of them.
whoa. Let's pump the brakes on that.
Yeah, backstage is fun. It's wild, but it's fun.
Backstage is fun. Cut it out. Stop it. No. So you said you're 50% of the way done with your editing?
hmm
Mm-hmm.
52. It takes like about an hour to do 5% per my math because like it's on
Mm-hmm.
four different documents where like there's a group document and three people want an individual. So like there's like seven, I think, beta readers. And a lot of times they
Mm-hmm.
point out the same dumbass thing I did. Like the lie versus lay, apparently I don't understand at all.
Oh, whatever. That's not something that's like copy editor stuff. That's like
Yeah,
proofreader copy stuff. You've been
absolutely.
getting really into it.
Yeah. There's a quote from Mark Lawrence on that I really like where it was, I just write the words. The commas are between the editor and God.
There's a reason. There is a reason that I don't touch copy editing or proofreading because commas, you get a comma, you get a comma, you get a comma. I don't know how words are spelled. I'm terrible. I know a bunch of words. I know a shit ton of words. I don't have to spell any of them.
Hell
If
yeah,
at
yeah,
any
yeah, yeah.
point spell check stops working, I nobody will know what I'm saying ever.
Could you imagine writing a book by typewriter? Like, what a disaster that would be.
Oh, okay. But not even is it just like the spelling that's bad. Typewriters have a very specific like way that you have to type. Otherwise the little like can jam each other.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't. The ASMR though would be fantastic, I'm sure.
Yeah. I wonder if you'd eventually become like Pavlov, where you just like hear it and you're like, oh my God, I hate this so much.
I'm glad that typewriters are I mean, I guess they're technically not a thing of the past. People still use typewriters, especially if they're super affected, but like um
Nobody
yeah,
uses
ASMR.
typewriters.
I bet
Nobody.
I bet I bet you could put something out on Twitter right now, and by the end of this, there would be like five people who would be like, "Yeah, absolutely, I use a typewriter." Actually,
Yeah,
it's the
but then
only
people
way
are
I
like,
know how. The only
it'd be like the
way.
same thing as saying I
Actually,
use a
story.
Walkman. Like, no, you don't, dude.
It's the only.
We'll find some
It's
people.
the only way to consume the media in the way that it was intended to be consumed. Honestly,
Hey,
it's
listen,
just so much
listen.
more
I
alive.
have a vinyl collection. You're getting a little close to home
No,
here.
so does my husband. He also has a bunch of vinyls. I'm speaking from I'm trying to pull up my notes app because I have some questions that I'm gonna ask you. And I spent some time writing these,
Oh,
so
good
I want to
God.
get a few of them.
That's baller. Look at that research.
I know there's no research. Your social media footprint is actually pretty tight. I couldn't find a whole lot on you. So the first question I want to ask you, if you're ready, are you ready? Are you warmed up enough for questions?
No, but go ahead.
All right, cool, whatever. Diving in, no lube, no warm up,
All
no
right.
big deal.
See, this is what it was like
Uh,
backstage.
so Grimdark was a genre that I was introduced to a couple years ago, and I'm still sort of figuring out like what the little niche genre conventions are.
Mhm.
So you write Grimdark. How would you define Grimdark as a genre? And then also, why do you write in that genre?
Okay. Now, the first question is way harder than the second because
Okay.
this has been an ongoing debate for like since the term grimdark was born, right? I
Oh,
think
so it's
Mark
like a
Lawrence,
semantic thing,
in
you
my
think?
opinion, yes. It's just
Okay.
another audiobooks count as reading, prologues, I skip them,
Mm,
what the fuck ever, you know. Where like you said dark fantasy and then grimdark. In my mind, they're really almost the same thing, if not the same. So I kind of like how Mark Lawrence did it because really, at the end of the day, a subgenre is just going to be whatever people say it is. If a large group of people agree in good faith, like obviously not like fucking trolling, and they're like, Barbie is grimdark or whatever. If they're giving their honest opinion, and a large group of people say this is X, whether it's music, books, movies, whatever, like if you said Alice in Chains is grunge, I would be like, hell yeah. Then if you asked me to define grunge, I'd be like, ah, that's a tough
mm.
question. You know, So Mark Lawrence has a really good article about this, breaking it down, and then he just had a shit ton of people vote on a scale of 1 to 5 of how grimdark things are. I believe
Mm-hmm.
Michael R. Fletcher's Beyond Redemption is at the very tip top of the list, which makes sense. That book is grim as hell. And then things like, First Law is not really that grimdark. Like it's dark,
Okay.
but it's not that grim, in my opinion.
How would you apply grim in this scenario to like the grim dark? So this is where I guess dark fantasy and grim dark kind of have an offshoot. Is like, okay, how are you applying this definition of like, well, it's not that grim. Well, how are
Yeah.
you applying that to the genre, you know?
Yeah, I would probably say it mostly stems from hope. Like, how hopeful or hopeless is the situation? Like, if every page the characters are just fucking boned and, there's rape and murder on every page, like, that's grim, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, Mistborn is not a dark fantasy, but it's got moments where it gets dark, but it's never
Mm-hmm.
hopeless. And so I
Okay.
couldn't call it a dark fantasy because that darkness doesn't permeate the whole book.
Mm-hmm.
But that, in my mind, is the difference between grimdark and dark, is the hopelessness.
The amount of hope you're like allowing your readers to feel.
Yes.
So if we're going from a scale of 0 to 5, where would you place let's see, where would you place this
Oh,
book on 0 to 5?
with 5 being like the most grimdark,
5 being the most grimdark, 0 being it's like it's in grimdark, but like mm,
I'm gonna go with like a 2.5 for Whispers. And
okay.
the other books we certainly ramp the darkness up a little bit. I don't think it ever gets to the point of a Beyond Redemption. Ooh, also very pretty.
Where are we putting Inkling of Flame?
God, probably right around the 2.5. Um,
Okay. That's where you're sitting, 2.5 on both of these.
I would say so because like Inkling's ending is rather
It's
grim.
dark as fuck. The ending of Inkling, I didn't expect it. I was like, holy shit, what
Yeah,
the fuck? Because you really have us care about these characters, and then you're like, actually,
yeah. You know what's funny is
fuck,
that's actually
that's why.
inspired by a Pierce Brown Red Rising scene, and I've never read Red
Mm-hmm.
Rising.
Not me either.
It's the old.
What scene? What scene was it?
Okay, this is a small spoiler for anyone who's listening, but so if you're listening, just like skip ahead 45 seconds or so. Hurt the algorithm. Throw a dislike on this video, as a matter of fact.
Shut
Um,
the fuck up.
unsub. Slam that unsub button.
I have no subscribers on my YouTube, so we're
You're
going
getting
into
a -1. We're getting there.
description. Let's go.
So this Pierce Brown scene, it's from a POV of like a soldier who spends this whole chapter setting up defenses around this fort or something, and he's doing
Mm-hmm.
all this shit, and shit's going south because the guy that they're trying to stop arrives. And so when he arrives, it all goes to shit, right? Like there's fires everywhere, there's lasers everywhere, blah blah, death, destruction. And it's this epic fight where he tries and fails to stop this guy. And the
Mm-hmm.
very next chapter is that guy's point of view, and he says, "We stormed the fortress. There was light resistance." That's all it says, and I
Damn.
adore that. That's such a cool concept.
That's that's very brutal.
Yeah. And so what I did for Inkling is like Lane doesn't matter, right? Like in the grand
Right.
scheme of this story, who the fuck cares about this kid? Like nobody.
Me. You did. You
The
made me
reader,
care about
yeah,
him.
the reader should
Do
care
it.
because what's going to happen is
Right.
the main character is going to kill a shit ton of people, and every
Yeah.
person that he kills is not guard number 47 or whatever. That's a person. That is a human being. Like
Mm-hmm.
all of Lane's friends that Redland doesn't really remember at this point, they were all fucking people. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I wanted to capture with Inkling.
I think that I was happy that I read Inkling before I read Whispers because it kind of adds that as you're reading. So you have a lot of Easter eggs. You can read them in either way. I think this is this is the appropriate reading order. Inkling was it was short, it was easy to get into. It kind of introduces you to the magic and that fucked up at the end you get to meet Redlin, who's the main character. And so it really sets up who he is going to become. And then you get to watch him become that. And I think that was I think that's a really interesting reading order. You could do it either way, but, I preferred it the way that I did it because I'm the best. No,
You are the
whatever.
best. I will say that on camera. It is
Thank you.
interesting because, like, the way the frame narrative works, like, an Inkling of Flame takes place after 95% of Whispers, but it is technically still before Whispers. Like, Whispers page 1 is years after Inkling, which is an
Yeah,
interesting thing to describe. Because, like, it's
because
kind of
of the
sort
way
of,
that like you're telling the story because the frame narrative is him being interviewed and he's talking about his past, but like the page he's already
yeah.
Why
Yeah,
did you
yeah.
choose to do the frame narrative like that?
Honestly, a lot of it's probably Name of the Wind. That
Okay.
book had a massive influence on me as, God, a 14-year-old maybe, whenever I picked that up. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it is the only book I have reread like multiple times. I've reread a few books here and there, but Name of the Wind is the only book I've reread. God, probably 10 times by now. That book is
Ooh,
amazing.
10 times. That's a bunch. That's a lot
Yeah,
for it's not a short book. It's a long book.
yeah. I mean, it's like it's 750 or whatever. It's not crazy. It's nothing.
Whatever, no big deal.
No big deal. I'm just fucking
Fucking
big brain over
whatever.
here.
Big brain energy. The I have I started Name of the Wind and I think I got like 5 chapters in before I moved on to other things. But I think the reason I did that is I need to actually physically read it. It's one of
Oh,
those is a very,
absolutely,
very involved book that I could
absolutely.
probably listen to the audio after and really enjoy it. But listening to the audio before seeing how the words are on the page, I spent the first few chapters thinking that dude's name was Coat, like Coat, Coat. I was like, what the
Oh no, it
fuck is
is.
happening? No, but it's not spelled like that, which is
It's
important.
KOT.
So when you're envisioning somebody named Coat, it really just
Oh,
throws you out. It
gotcha.
throws you out of everything because every time they say coat, you're like, that's not right.
Yeah,
But if you were to read it physically, you would see the KOT and not think,
yeah.
trench
Well, my
coat or
dad
whatever.
and I had the opposite problem because we both love that book and we don't do
Mm-hmm.
audiobooks. And so we were like, how the fuck do you pronounce this guy's name? Like Kvothe.
Caught.
I think we said like Kiff or something. We were like, I have no idea how to pronounce this. Yeah.
Yeah. Fantasy names. Oh, I am reading a book right now by Alex Schuerman, however the fuck you say his last name.
Can't even pronounce his own
And
name.
I don't know. I've only seen the word
He's
spelled.
not even
I've
a fantasy
only seen it
character.
spelled. But he has like a few characters that I'm like, okay, so how do you say this? I can think of like 10 different pronunciations and I know all of them are wrong. Every single one of them.
I did have that happen the other day where someone was talking to me like in real life and they were like, yeah, queso is not good. And I was like, who? Who the fuck is that?
Like cheese dip, queso?
Yeah, I was like, who the fuck are you talking about? He's like Kase. I was like, oh, I call him Casio.
Oh, I cool. Casio?
Could work. I'm just gonna go
Who
with the
knows?
audio narrator. You can go whatever the fuck you want
I
to go.
don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to you've done Name of the Wind has had a huge influence on why you chose to write frame narrative.
Yeah.
Uh, your original book that you published in 2023. Can you remind me of the name of it?
For a few
It's
days more,
a few days
which
more.
is named
Uh,
after the Western.
I'm so sorry. You're
I
just
saw
much
that.
more cultured than I am. All of these references that you are throwing out at me, and I go, uh-huh. I'm gonna Google. I don't fucking
Okay,
know what
you
you're
know
talking.
the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Sure, I've heard of that. Have I
Okay.
watched it? No.
Oh
Sorry.
man,
I'm so sorry.
it's a little overrated because it's long
Mm,
as fuck and it does not need to be.
yeah.
Like there's a 30-minute Civil War scene where you're like, what the fuck is happening? But the ending is
But
amazing.
that comes from like the time that they were doing film.
Yeah.
That yeah.
Well, like I don't know. That guy did another movie called Once Upon a Time in the West that's just as
Hmm.
long, but it's so much more focused in its storytelling. Yeah. But
Are they both
anyways,
they're both
hmm?
based off books, right? Maybe it's source material. Maybe he just like vibed with the source material on one better than the other.
No, I don't think these are. I think these are all original.
Um was that original novel also a frame narrative?
No, it's not. It's super Abercrombie ripoff. It's so
Uh,
Abercrombie ripped off. But yeah, third person POV limited. It's kind of a fantasy western.
I love a third person limited. That's
Oh,
my jam.
check out.
Third limited.
I probably still prefer a frame narrative. Like Sun Eater's really
Yeah.
fucking good. Book of the New Sun is awesome. The War Eternal is really cool. Uh shit. Third person limited. You can do some really
It's
cool
hard.
shit with.
I bet it's hard to write though. It's hard to
No,
keep yourself within scope for a
not
third.
for
Person.
me
You
personally,
didn't.
because
Oh,
I just
you're just so good at it. It's
I'm the
whatever.
greatest of all time. That's what you
Yeah,
told me
let's go.
backstage.
I did. I'll say it on stage too. Greatest of all time.
Oh,
ZB Steele.
no. Oh, stop it. But no, I've always found it rather easy to put myself in like the shoes of my characters where it's like I get like
Hmm.
sometimes they spawn without motivations and sometimes they spawn with motivations. And then once you have that motivation and like maybe a few lines of dialogue that kind of tells you how their personality interacts with others, it's really kind of easy to like keep that in mind. Like what drives them as a human being.
Mm.
Like one concept that I seem to draw myself to is women who are powerless and are now putting themselves in a situation where they will never be powerless again. Like again,
I
and
love that shit.
yeah, it's a great motivation, right? Because like you can let
Yeah.
them show kindness, but also be absolute just either badasses or absolute cunts. Either way, because it's the motivation of like I'm not going back. I
Yeah.
refuse to be powerless again.
This is the bandit character, right?
Mhm,
In they're speaking of specifically in your debut novel.
mhm. Yep.
Are you gonna go back and revisit that series, or is it a standalone?
So it is a standalone. The
Oh, okay.
sequel is written because it's
Ah.
kind of like it's with different characters who, and the original characters are kind of around and show up,
Hmm.
but like they're not our focus in this one. I don't know when I'll get to it.
Yeah. I mean, you've really kept momentum with Whispers and Rising Gale that's coming out this year.
Yeah.
So I think it makes sense that if that's where your creative juices are flowing, like follow it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's kind of three core things driving it right now where it's like
Hmm.
the readers are way more interested in Song of the Damned. And then I'm also more interested in Song of the Damned. And there's a third fucking problem. This is going to be a bad problem to fix. So, Whispers of the Storm, I was let's see, I was halfway through the sequel of For a Few Days More, and I had this line of dialogue, the very first line, just like stuck
Hmm.
in my head for Whispers. And so I was like, well, let me just like write this opening scene and get it out of my head and whatever.
Hmm.
And then it just never stopped. So I
Okay.
finished Whispers and I turned it in the editor and I was like, oh shit, I was halfway through that manuscript. Let me go back to that. And I finished it. And then I read the whole thing and I was like, wow, this first half sucks ass compared to the
So
second
you've
half.
really grown since you started that your debut series. Do you think when you revisit it, it's a rewrite, or do you think it's just an edit?
I think it's closer to a rewrite than it is to an edit, which
Oof,
that
that's
is just
tough.
so discouraging.
That's so tough. That's really tough.
Yeah.
Uh, I, vibe. I get that then. Kind of pushing that off until, and if you have things that you are, um, have like a clear vision for, it's so much easier to follow that dopamine trail of like, look at this cool new thing that I'm doing versus,
Absolutely.
ugh, ugh, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
I get
Yeah.
that.
I think I probably will, because right now my current plan is there's going to be a standalone after Song of the Damned is finished, and then I'm kind of in the drafting stage of a 5-book series,
Okay.
and yeah, which is I'm super excited about. I actually kind of need to pick your brains. I don't know if it's offensive to women or not, but that
Oh,
would be
okay. Yeah, I'm a woman. I could probably help.
yeah. But if you give me the okay and it goes south, I'm suing you for
I don't
all
think
your
you should
YouTube money.
sue me. I don't have that much money. Ugh.
The YouTube
But
royalties must be kicking in.
yeah, with my negative subscribers, I'm actually paying YouTube right now.
Everyone smash that subscribe button, like this video.
So I can sue Audrie later and
Give
pay
her
for
some money so I
for
can get
all
it.
that YouTube money she's making from her 4 indie author interviews. Oh my gosh. Thanks. What about it is offensive to women potentially?
I
Or is
don't
this like an
know.
offline question?
It's not that offensive.
Okay.
I just don't know if I want to give spoilers or not.
Ask me
Yeah,
offline because I'm totally cool with spoilers at all times. They do not change how I read or react to shows or movies or books. I love them.
yeah, it's really not
Uh,
even a spoiler. It's like the whole concept of the book. Like it would be on the
oh,
blurb, but I also don't
okay.
want to tell people yet.
Okay. So you just want to like tease that you have this project going on in the background, but not quite give them not give them a whole
Oh
lot.
God, we're 3 years away from book one at the earliest.
Uh, because Song of the Damned's gonna be a trilogy.
Trilogy,
A trilogy. Okay.
yes. I did
And
play
then are
with
you
the
gonna
idea
add
of doing book four.
any more novellas as well, or no?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not. I've thought about it and I've been tempted, but I think what I'm gonna do, because oh, fun fact, Inkling of Flame was written after Whispers because I was kind of bored during the editing stage. Where
Where you were just like waiting for edits to come back?
yeah, I was just like, I'm just bored, so I'm just gonna write this
Mm-hmm.
novella and publish it, which is interesting because
Hell
like
yeah.
Inkling came out like 3 months before Whispers,
Mm-hmm.
but it was written after. But anyways, so I think I'm just gonna jump into
Um,
book three once I go to the editor, and we'll just
yeah.
get 20K words in or whatever.
You got an outline for book three?
Um, I don't know if I want to reveal this. Yeah, fuck it. All right.
Oh.
My
I
outline
mean
for
you don't
Song
have
of
to
the
you don't
Damned is mostly in my head. The outline
oh, good.
written is not many words, which
Mm-hmm.
is probably a bad way to do it because this is a frame narrative. But
Whatever.
really, I just live and breathe this shit every day. I don't really need to write it down.
Okay. That's cool. That really shows how much you have put into this craft and put into making this story. I couldn't do that. I'd fucking forget all of it. Every single fucking thing I ever thought in my entire life about this one thing, it would, you know how you have those really cool dreams and you're like, oh, fuck yeah, this would be so
Yeah.
sick. And wake up and you're like, I have no idea what it was. That would be me. But you've been planning Song of the Damned for how many years now?
Not that many, honestly. Um, yeah, Redland really kind of forced himself out of me. And then
Mm-hmm.
from there, I took a lot of long walks. Like after the first page, the first 10 pages were done, and I would
Mm-hmm.
call people and be like, all right, I have this idea. Here's the plan. Here's the twists, blah, blah. And so I remember those calls in great detail because like they would kind of stress test it and they'd be like, that's stupid because of X at my request.
Mm.
And yes, I wouldn't say I've really been planning Song of the Damned for that long.
That's not fair though, because if you are spending so like, okay, right. My question was about years. You haven't been planning it for very long in years. But if you're spending all of your, extra time
Oh,
of like brainstorming, I don't think it's fair to say you haven't been planning it for that long. Because
oh,
if
I
you're
thought you
putting a
meant
lot of free time.
before.
Oh, no, I just mean
Oh,
how much time have you put into this story? How many
oh,
years, like,
dude.
you know?
Oh, dude, thousands of hours.
Hmm.
Thousands. Maybe it's like tens of thousands. I don't know.
I don't
Shit.
know how many hours there are in a year, so it could be
That's
that many.
what's 365
Don't ask
Time.
me to do math. Please don't. I'm going to embarrass myself. Somebody get me paper.
Everyone smash that unsub button. Audrie can't do
Don't
math.
subscribe immediately.
Yeah.
Okay, 8,760 for one single
What's
year.
365 times 4?
I don't fucking know. 1,460.
Okay. So we got to be around 3,200 hours then? Somewhere around there?
It's a lot of hours. And this is
Yeah.
like brainstorming, editing, writing, all of the things.
Yeah.
Whew,
Admin shit.
that's a lot of time. Whispers of the Storm released just under a year ago. You're almost at your book birthday in
6
a couple
days
days.
left. Yeah.
5th, right?
Yep.
And
25th.
then book 2 is releasing June 16th. So you've spent a lot of time in world. As you've said, like 3,200 hours, something crazy. A lot of time. So over the last year of writing and editing, has your relationship with your story and your characters changed? And in what way?
Now, that's a good question. Has my relationship with my story changed?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I have told this story a few times, so sorry for anyone who's hearing me repeat this. But when
He's
I
not sorry.
Yeah, fuck him. Actually, yeah, if you're hearing the story again, you listen good. God damn it. So Whispers, the first like I don't know, 5,000 words maybe came out like could not be stopped, just coming out of me, whatever. And
Sorry.
just like a rocket, just coming hard
Stop.
and fast and
I
coming right out of me, right?
I'm too childish for this. Okay, continue.
Like
First 5,000
a
words.
hot, stream.
Just gross. Cool.
So the first
I'll
5K
never look at the first 5,000 words of this book the same ever again. Thank you.
Well, that's all I need to hear because that means you're rereading, so that's awesome. The first 5K were pretty easy though at the end of the day, and then the next like 15, I was like, I'm stupid. I don't know how to write. This sucks. I'm awful, and I should give up. That kind of imposter syndrome, whatever. So I had to email a very good friend of mine who I actually met on Reddit because I used to beta read on Reddit like every once in a while, and most of the time, no offense to the Redditors, it's dog shit. And then I read one where I was like, "Oh, this is actually great. Like, I need to talk to this guy." And so I developed a friendship with that guy, and I was like, "Can you please read the first 20,000 words of this and tell me that it's not the worst thing you've ever read?" And he read it and was like, "Dude, this is fine. This is rather good. Keep going."
Ooh, rather good on a first draft. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, he's like, "There's some flaws, but you're fine. You're all right. It's just, whatever." And so from there, it's been mostly smooth sailing. But the problem is when you're writing, you have no idea if what you're writing is dog shit or not.
Yeah.
So Rising Gale, there's a scene, but now that like it's been beta read and whatever, and I've talked to the beta readers, I feel much better about this segment of the book. But I was really nervous for a while because I thought it was like not good.
You have to plow through.
No, 100%. That I'm actually extremely grateful I had that lesson with Whispers, that first 20,000, because now I had imposter syndrome with Inkling. And I was like, yeah, dude, that's just your brain being a bitch. Like, who cares? It's going to be fun.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so you just keep writing and then you're like, all right, that worked out. But yeah, I don't remember what the original question was. I apologize.
It was about how your relationship with like your characters and your narrative has changed as you've been writing.
Yeah, the characters I do, unless I need them to go somewhere, I will let them lead themselves, right? Like I give them their motivation, I give them their personality, and then the dialogue comes from them. I'm really not doing much other than just kind of being a conduit for it and just kind of like, if this character says X, this character's going to say Y, this character's going to say Z, this character's going to say 1, this character's going to say 2, blah, 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 right? So unless I need a character to go a certain way, I just kind of let them lead on, and it's led to some interesting character developments. Like Aaron was not who he was when I originally designed him, and then his dialogue was just like kept clashing with Redlin, like just
Mm,
naturally. So that, because I originally wanted them to be friends because they're both like these kind of boys that come from this. We get more into Aaron's backstory in book two, but like these kind of hurt boys who should have recognized each other for what they are, and it just they would not mix. Which
mm.
then, since that was not part of the frame narrative, where like it's foreshadowed what's going to happen with them, I, that's fine. I can let them do that, and then it leads to some interesting things for Aaron and Redland, where they have certain interactions in book two that weren't planned out, but did happen just because of who they ended up being.
So you've really given your characters more of a organic reign than somebody who really keeps them on a tight leash for like plot purposes. Something that I've noticed in Whispers and a little bit in Inkling, but definitely in Whispers, was how often you brought attention to um the way that men show affection or don't show affection. And how often that Redlin, like introspectively, shows us, the reader, that that's not, although it is the societal norms and it's something that like mimics our own societal norms, is not something that he needed in that moment or wanted in that moment, even though he accepts it as like this is what it is. I find that it's, you have called to attention, and I know on like 4 or 5 different occasions they really stood out to me. He needed somebody to be vulnerable with, and instead was shown, that like rough, tough, hard ass kind of, we're men, this is how it is. I'm reminded of that because of the way that these boys should have been drawn together and commiserated with each other and bonded over this, but instead, like oil and water didn't mix. Was there like a bigger, was this just something that was social commentary about things that you've seen and things that you've experienced, or was there something more that you were trying to tell the reader with those interactions?
That's an interesting question. You ask good ass questions. You're very good
Thanks.
at this.
Oh, my
Ah.
editing sucks though, so joke's on you.
Folks, hit that unsub button.
Unsub.
Dislike.
I'm on like -10 subs right now.
I don't even care about that lawsuit money. It's all right. So normally when I start a book, I don't go into it with a theme in mind. That's slowly starting to change. The standalone I'm going to write after Song of the Damned has a theme in mind, but
Hmm.
Whispers is often described as a book with a primary theme of men's mental health. And that is true, but was not entirely intentional. It was really more of just a little bit of social commentary and really just putting myself into Redland's shoes where it's like, all right, so he's this traumatized kid and he's in this manly grr society, right?
Traumatized is like an understatement for Redland.
He's got some
Jeez,
bad.
that poor. And you were like, you know what? How traumatized can I make a child? Make it
Oh,
worse.
good news, Audrey. It only gets worse. He's in
Oh,
for a
hell
rough
yeah.
one
Let's
too.
fucking go. Rising Gale. Too traumatized. Too.
Yeah, but yeah, I wouldn't say I intentionally started out writing Whispers as this kind of men's mental health book. It's really just like
Mhm.
Redland is a male and has mental health problems and is living in this society, and as such, there is going to be commentary on men's mental health just because that's his life.
Yeah.
I I didn't go out starting with that in mind, but it's going to have to happen.
Are these things that you've drawn from your own experience, or things that you've just seen, things that you are just aware of being, a man growing up in a culture that doesn't really allow men to be vulnerable?
Definitely both.
Oh,
Cause
cool.
I'm a dude.
Sorry. Yeah, you're a dude.
Yeah, so like definitely both.
Mm.
It is hard to talk about this without sounding kind of incelish. Like, you asked me if
Every-
I'd rather be a man or
go,
woman. I'm thinking man every
go
day.
to his Instagram, unfollow. You heard he's an incel. No.
ZB hates women still.
Z says he's going to sue his sensitivity reader on live. Steele. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't remember what I was
Okay.
going to say.
You
Um,
said not to sound super incelish, but
yes. Okay. So men do have, in my opinion, we have it more freedom, but more responsibility in society. Now this is changing as we go. Well,
mm-hmm.
probably not more responsibility. I don't know. The metaphor that I use is like I will say if you're a man, you can't just not work. Like
Okay.
you're gonna have to do that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Now that said, women do then end up working in the house, which I watch the kid for 4 hours a day, and my wife watches the kid for 8 hours a day. That job is hard. Fuck that
As
job.
a stay-at-home mom of three, this is
Fuck
with
that.
the intention of never wanting to be a stay-at-home mom. I have been in the army, I've worked on the farm, I've been in culinary. I
Yeah.
had zero intention ever of being a stay-at-home mom. It is the most mentally exhausting thing I have ever done in my life.
Yeah.
Ever. It
Yeah.
I love my children. It fucking blows some days.
Oh, dude,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
I was playing
I
with my
get it.
kid today for like 7 minutes with the dinosaur toys where we were going through the air and and I was like, I just mentally cannot do this anymore, dude. You're gonna have to fucking you're
Mhm.
gonna have to go play. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that so a good way to place that is especially because we're in a society now where most people are not able to have one person stay at home. We are very much moving towards a society, or not moving towards. We are in a society where almost everybody who can work in the household needs to work in the household to maintain um, a livable wage.
Mhm.
This is clearly like not the case for everybody, but it
Yeah,
is
yeah,
something like rising in prevalence. But I do understand what you mean of men are sort of placed in, even if it's not what they would want or maybe necessarily need in their life, the rhetoric is you're a man, you are going to work, you are going to provide. And that kind of creates this barrier between men, their mental health, the dynamic that they have at home, their ability to be vulnerable whenever they're supposed to be holding up the house. It really doesn't always allow them to explore things that are very important to being, I don't know, being having a good dynamic in the house.
yeah.
I think that makes sense. Maybe. I'll watch this back and I'll be like, what the fuck did you just say?
It's gonna be
But like,
Audrie Incel Hooper.
get the fuck off. No, but I mean it makes sense. I'm not saying that it's a woman's job to make make a space where men should be more vulnerable, like have a space where they feel comfortable because there's a lot of work that goes into that.
Yeah,
And this is a part of men's culture that really needs to be tackled from a societal standpoint, a men to man standpoint of like, hey, it's okay to feel feelings, to cry, to do this, and that's something that you're responsible for. It's not somebody else's responsibility. This is where you get like out of the incel thing because incels believe that it is a woman's responsibility. It is society's responsibility to I'm the hottest shit because I go out and I provide. I provide.
yeah. No, I mean,
So it,
ironically, the problem does stem from men, right? Like,
I thought you were gonna say women, and I was like, no, stop, stop.
but it does stem from men, and I do kind of understand how it happened
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of boys are taught early on, like, help's not coming, dude. Like, you're on your own, which is
Mm-hmm.
not. This is gonna sound fucked up, but bear with me for a second. It's not the
Okay.
worst lesson to learn. Like I learned it, and like, fuck yeah, dude. Like if I'm having a shit day, it's like, all right, you gotta bottle that up, and move on. That's all you gotta do, which sucks, right? If
Your
someone else told
Catholicism
me that,
is really showing through right now. That's like, I think that's what, if you're looking at the pillars of Catholicism, I think that's one of them.
oh, thank
Bottle
you,
it
man.
up, move the
You
fuck
know,
on.
oh yeah, oh that's why we die at 60. Yeah,
Yeah, the
But like,
stress, the cortisol levels are just crazy.
oh yeah, and I think it's
Okay,
so
I'm sorry.
interesting because I'll say that with my full chest, where it's like I was taught early on to not cry, and so now when
Hmm.
I, which like I'm not like ashamed to cry, but I do have an instinct to be ashamed to cry, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
then bottling up emotions, and it's like just fucking bottle that shit down. You'll be all right. So breathe it off, and you'll be
Hmm.
all right tomorrow. And
Yep.
it's like if someone else said that, I'd be like, bro, that's fucked. But with me, I'm like, yeah, that's just life. I don't know, whatever.
Okay, my dad uh was always so was always like, "You don't ever cry. I'm so proud of you for not doing that." So like as a woman, I don't and my dad didn't raise me. My mom did, but every time I was hanging out with my dad out of the 3 weeks he would get me, he's doing his best, right? But he's got that guy mentality. So I got a few of those life lessons. Like, wow, you just you don't get overwhelmed, and when you do, you don't break down and cry. I'm really proud of you for that. That fucked me up for a
Yeah,
long ass time. I was like, I can't cry.
yeah.
I
Oh,
probably
it's a
should,
horrible
but
lesson to
I'm
teach
too
a human
strong.
being.
I'm too strong to do that.
Yeah,
What the fuck was that?
yeah, it's a
Rage.
horrible lesson to teach.
Yeah, it's awful. It's awful.
Yeah, so let me ask you: were there days that you were glad that you were taught that lesson though?
Yeah, obviously. I made
Yeah,
me
this
okay.
is what I'm saying. It's
It
a
made
complex
me
thing.
okay. It made me feel superior to other people. But retrospect in the moment, it made me feel superior because I was not showing emotion
Yeah,
when maybe it would have been healthy too. However, as an adult, looking back on it, there was nothing to be proud of. You should
absolutely.
have felt how you felt in that moment. You
Yeah,
should have let it out because now you're ruminating on it. It was fucking 15 years ago, Audrie. So,
oh, it's certainly better
um,
just to cry or scream or whatever, get those fucking emotions out. But nope,
that moment of superiority is what it is not worth it. And it was false
absolutely.
superiority.
Yeah, especially because
Anyway,
it wasn't true. Yeah,
so sorry. Anyway,
yeah.
you were
I don't know.
saying
I don't even remember what the fuck we're talking about.
something about mental health, men's mental health, and how
And not
you're
sounding
taught
incelish.
not to feel, bottle it up, move on.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, like back to the core point of like, was that a plan in Whispers? Like, yeah, no, not really. But I do really like a scene where Redland goes through something very traumatic, and he debates telling someone, and he was like, if I tell a dude, he is going to laugh at me immediately, and that's
That pissed me
absolutely
off.
true.
It is, and it made me so fucking mad. I
It's
don't know if I
aggravating.
mess I don't know if I messaged you whenever I was reading this part, but I was so upset for him.
Yeah,
I don't want to spoil it, but like in this, I know exactly what you're talking about. And yes, if he would have gone and told a man, that would have 100% been the reaction. Is like, oh, whatever, and
yeah.
slurs and stuff. Like, which is what he's literally going through a crisis. He's
Yeah,
going through, and rightfully so. Something terrible happened to him, and he's going through this crisis. I was so upset. I was so upset. You wrote it really well. You wrote
oh,
it really well. I think you did a good job in approaching this in a very real way of having him feel this trauma and this shame of how men who go through this do feel. And I hope that everybody who reads this scene, and if you haven't, I'm being vague, but once you get to that scene, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. I hope everybody is enraged as I was because that's how culture change happens.
yeah. That's excellently
Oh,
said.
fired up. Fucking poor Redlin. Poor Redlin. Okay. Okay. Speaking of Redlin, Redlin of the Wolves has earned himself quite a following of admirers. It's easy to see why, because he's resilient and powerful, uh, and overcomes adversity even like when you think he won't. At every turn, he is faced with something terrible that should ruin him or kill him or take him out completely. And it doesn't. He overcomes all of this adversity. What do you have to say to those people, the people who admire him, especially those who claim that they can fix him?
First off, thank you for reading. Um, Second off, it's
First
really
off, thanks for reading.
oh yeah. Anyone who
I'm
says like I
sorry.
can fix Redland, I'm just like fuck yeah, dude. I don't. I think you're dead wrong, but I love that you read it, and I love that you thought that. So that's an interesting question because in my mind, Redland is frequently shitty. Like he makes
Yeah.
very bad decisions all the time,
Yes.
and he's got bad instincts, and he's kind of mean, you know.
Kind
But
of.
yeah, I mean, he's got moments of kindness, but he's got moments
He's
of rather meanness.
he's really fucking mean. He's really fucking mean. But he just always frames it in such a way. He deludes himself into thinking that he's not as mean as he is. He's fucking awful.
Absolutely.
I love him. He's an amazing character.
Oh,
He's
thank you. Yeah,
but
he's got layers, right? Like he's a
yeah.
fucking. I think every human being is a hypocrite. We sometimes call it hypocrisy, or we sometimes call it nuance. Whatever you want to call it. Like, if you're writing characters that aren't at times hypocrites, you're not writing real humans because humans are fucking awful. But yeah,
Yep.
so Redlin, I think he's kind of shitty sometimes. Like, I would not want to date him. You know, I think it's a
Mhm.
bad choice for a boyfriend. But you guys do you.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, but if you do find any sort of strength or inspiration or joy out of Redland's journey, that makes my day every time I hear it.
I think that there are a lot of good things. So even though I agree with you that Redlin is kind of shitty sometimes, and he makes bad decisions a lot of
Horrible
times,
decisions.
he is often put into opportunities where he can do the right thing. And by the right thing, I mean like if you were to ask 10 people, like most of them would say like option A is the right thing to do. And Redlin's like, yeah, but like, have you heard of the merits of option B? Have you heard of actually, did you know there's an option C? Did you know that that was
I
possible? And we're
adore
like,
this.
no, can you not do that, dude? And he's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And
Yeah.
actually, it's a great idea. It all works out for him, but like, fuck, dude. He has like a lot of good qualities. He has a lot of admirable qualities, which is why I said admirers, not just romantic admirers, people who maybe see qualities in him that they would like to see in themselves. I think he's a good character. He's
Yeah.
not a good person. He is a really good character, though. He is very dynamic. I think he's a fucking liar, and I think he lies to everybody plus himself, and that really frustrates me sometimes. But I like that I feel that way when I'm reading. So
Yeah. No, I
anyway,
think
I
the
don't
world
know.
needs more shitty characters. I'm getting
Yep,
really
I
sick of
agree.
this trend of like kind of like polished, you know, I don't know the word for it, but like heroic characters, I guess.
Like
Not even
noble
heroic.
characters,
Yeah, it's just like too
like that
clean.
guy, that one guy. You have a character in your book who's noble like that.
Oh yeah, Juke. Juke's my
Sorry, I
dog.
can't
I love
remember their
Juke.
names.
Which like I love a good hero, but I can't have them all be like we check the boxes for being good people. I can't have that.
mm,
That's just that annoys me.
okay.
And one thing I do think is fascinating about Redland, real quick, is as the Redland we see most of the time in the book, not older Redland who's giving the interview. That
Mm-hmm.
younger Redland 100% believes he is a victim of circumstance, and if he was still with his family, he would just be like a normal, good person. And the older Redland's not as sure because he does
Yeah.
have opportunities to be a good person, and he's like, fuck that.
Mm-hmm.
So he fully believes he is a good person who's a victim of circumstance. I think that's such a fascinating idea.
You can see it in the way, and this is why I say he lies to himself all the time, because we as the reader can see that that's not necessarily true. Um, but hearing him explain, because often he does explain this to us, and not in the same way. It's not repetitive. But as he's going through these things where he's given the opportunity to do something that's the right thing, he's like, "Oh, but this and this and this." You can see his reasoning and you're like, "You're fucking deluding yourself, dude." But he doesn't think that. He is 100% he's like, "My logic is fucking tight. I got this shit on lock." And you're
Oh
like,
yeah.
"Ah, ugh, I don't know, man." I have like, okay, like a few more questions that I really liked. It's two. I have two questions, and these are fun questions for me to ask at least. Okay, so in your magic system, in the fighting, it has this like really fucking sick ass anime vibe.
Thank you.
It has that epicness, that large, like that scale, the people doing shit that like people don't do that, but you can imagine it perfectly.
Yeah.
Um, hell yeah, 10 out of 10. Love it. My little weeb heart is
No.
so happy every time I read them. Name your top three anime fights that inspired how you write action scenes.
Oh God. Oh, top three. Oh God. Why you just take me out in the back and shoot me? Good God. All right.
I
What the fuck kind of question is that? That's a whole. Oh God.
I thought it was a fun one. I thought it was
Oh, it's so
fun.
fun. But you've ambushed me. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna DM and be like, you gotta edit that. That was not true. I thought of 8 better ones.
I thought of
Okay.
eight better ones. Quick, off the top of your head. Go, go, go. What's the
Okay. The
first
two
one
that
you're thinking
immediately jump to mind
right
are
now?
both Sasuke.
Yep.
It's Sasuke versus
Yeah.
Orochimaru in the Forest of Death when he's throwing the wired strings and all that. Underrated as fuck fight. That fight is absolutely goaded. It's like a 6 minute quick thing. It's so sick. I adore that fight. And then the other
Hmm.
Sasuke fight is the big one, Sasuke versus Itachi. Goated fight. Dude, the other one. I don't know. Name some animes, quick. Give me your Mount
Oh,
Rushmore
fuck yeah.
animes.
Oh, I'm a sorry, I'm a shoujo bitch. I'm like watching Sailor Moon and shit.
Oh,
They're all
okay. I thought you said JoJo, like JoJo's
yeah.
Bizarre Adventure. I
No,
was like, fuck
no.
yeah.
No, no. I'm a shoujo like shoujo bitch. I love
Yeah,
magical girls and all of that stuff. Don't get me wrong. I love Naruto as well, and I thought you were definitely going to almost had money on the fact that you would have had the Naruto Sasuke fight whenever Sasuke tries to leave the Hidden Leaf Village. I'm surprised that wasn't on there because that was fucking epic. The animation
that's a great
was
fight.
it was
That's
so good,
really good.
but
Yeah.
there are so many good. I mean, I also thought you probably would have referenced Jujutsu Kaisen at some point. Although I've only watched a little bit of it. That anything by Mappa.
Yeah. So
So
I have this very prideful trait, which is I
mhm.
recognize is incorrect, and I still say it anyways. I
Mm.
always say like anything that I read, watched, whatever before I wrote my first book, I consider a major influence if it deserves that title. And then
Okay.
anything that does influence me after, I'm just like, no, that's not a major influence actually, because I'm a published author and I'm cool now.
I'm
Even though like that's
cool.
totally untrue.
Rising Star of Grimdark.
I'm
They're
the rising
actually
star of
inspired by
Grimdark.
me.
Yeah. But no, I for real do I do say that in my mind. Where I'm just like, it's not a
I
major
mean,
inspiration because I
words of
already have
affirmation
those.
are important.
Yeah. But JJK I watched after. So I can't say that. I can't say Chainsaw
Okay.
Man.
Okay.
Man, my gut instinct for third is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Oh, that's a
Uh,
good one.
so goaded. So goaded. It's not as good as Attack on Titan, but it is very goaded.
I
Um,
also thought you would have mentioned Attack on Titan because that one's fucking sick as well.
Fight scenes, like, man, it's so beautiful, but I wouldn't say like any of the fight scenes really inspired me. You know, because like it's not human versus human for the most part.
But if you look at the action, especially if you're looking at Attack on Titan, right? Where they're moving, the way that they move with their omnidirectional gear and their like really weird long razor cutters, which
Yeah.
I don't particularly like. I don't like that aspect. I'm like, those are really long box cutters. That's crazy. Anyway, like when Redlin is doing his like super epic special moves that he's creating, there's a lot of that movement, that dynamic movement that you see in his actions. So I mean like yeah, it's not human versus human, but also it could still inspire. Though
Anime in general
not
has
Attack
definitely
on
been
Titan.
an inspiration to how I write action. Because when I
Mm-hmm.
write action, I do see it like a movie, and then
Mm-hmm.
I see it from the camera angle. That's how I usually describe it. So yeah, Attack on Titan, its plot too had a pretty big influence on me. God,
Mm-hmm.
Attack on Titan's so fucking sick.
It's so good. It's really
Attack on
good.
Titan and Joe Abercrombie both do this thing that I really love and have done, and no one's caught it yet, where they will throw a spoiler in your face. They'll just fucking put it there, and they'll say, "You're too dumb to understand what this means right now." and they're
Damn.
right. You know, everyone.
They're right.
Yeah, dude. Everyone just like reads it, and then they're like, "Okay, cool, whatever. That was a fucking weird scene." And they come back and like, "Oh my god, it was foreshadowed from page
Yeah.
one."
Right, because I mean, you don't have the context to know. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's not fair. You haven't given me the information for me to not be stupid about it. So like,
that
it's
is
fine.
fair.
Fine.
Like,
It's
have you seen it all of Attack on Titan?
yeah.
Okay, so
I've seen like 90. I've seen, if I haven't seen it on the TV, my friend Carmen has talked to me about it, or I've seen spoilers online. So
yeah. Okay, do you remember that scene where they get like the fish cans in season 2, and it's like, do you remember that?
dude, no, I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
No,
Anyway,
no, no, no. You've left me
keep
up to
going
dry
though.
with the audience, but
I
that's all right.
have.
Smash that unsub button. Um,
I'm at -15 now.
okay,
So
good.
great.
Oof. Maybe if we like keep going, we'll loop around
Right.
back to the green, and then I can see you
Yeah,
again.
I think so. I'll reach the point of infamy that people start following me because of the infamy. I think we just got to keep punching down, dude. Let's go.
That yeah, you know what? Audrie Incel Hooper is the new YouTube channel.
My name is not Hooper. It's Hopper. Oh my
No, it's
god.
Hooper. My mom, I read it as
All
Hooper
right,
the first time, and I see it as
that's
Hopper. I'm like,
fine.
she's
I
wrong.
think building off of the anime thing, you didn't tell me your third anime scene, but that's fine because they ambushed you, and I'll give you grace on this. You can text me.
It is
I
Full Metal Alchemist with
Oh, okay.
the last fight. I can't say what happened, like the very last.
So everybody go watch Full Alchemist Brotherhood and watch the very last fight, and that's the one that Zeeb is talking about.
Yes,
Okay, but
yes.
no
Audrey just told you
spoilers.
to spoil yourself in one of the greatest shows of all time.
Yeah, do it. If you haven't watched it by this point, then I can't help you. I'm so sorry.
That's
The
entirely fair. It's time.
If you could have your book animated in any style, which would it be?
Probably just like just the gorgeous animation that Mappa does. Yeah, that's probably it.
And I just want to ask you one more question before we hop off. Are there any things that you want to like shout out? Anything coming up? Any reviews that you're dropping? Arcs that you're sending out? Anything in the ZB Steel world, Rising Star of Grimdark that you want your fans to know?
Yes, I'll just tell you something exciting will be coming out in May. A quick little tease.
Oh,
Other
I know
than
what it
that,
is.
you
I
know
know
what
what
it
it
is.
is.
You know what it
I know what
is.
it is. You guys are gonna
Um,
really like it. You guys are really gonna like this. It
I dude,
fucking
I'm so
it
hyped.
slaps.
I'm very
You should
excited.
be.
Yes. So exciting news in May.
Mm-hmm.
Rising Gale should be out on June 16th. There might be a slight delay depending on typesetting. It is available for pre-order right now. Pre-order, there is an ARC sign up on my bio on Twitter and Instagram if you would like to do that.
When do arcs go
And
out?
hopefully in May as well. Just the
Okay.
digital arcs at first, because I'll still probably be working on the typesetting and all that stuff, the physicals and all that. So hopefully sometime in early May, we shall
Go
see.
sign up for arcs. You'll get them in early May. Perfect.
Yeah.
On your website.
Yes. And if you're
Linktree.
still listening, go follow Audrie. She is an excellent beta reader. I'm actually kind of pissed off at myself because I contacted her too late. I kind of threw a fucking grenade at her. It was like, hey, can you beta read this in the next 2 weeks? Thanks. And she obviously said, no, go fuck yourself.
I
Call me
really wanted to. I need you to know. So you asked me to do it, and I was like, do it. Do it. Like the Green Goblin Mask was over here, and it was like, do it. And I
Yeah.
was like, I can't. I can't. I'll never see my family because
Fuck them.
yeah,
Who cares?
whatever. No
Fuck
big
'em.
deal.
Yeah,
Next
but
book.
you did beta read a chapter for me, and your feedback
I
was
did.
excellent. So
Oh, thank
if
you.
you're an indie author looking for beta readers, hire Audrie. She's awesome. I will certainly be doing that on book 3. And yeah, that's my pitch. You can buy these books on Amazon. I recommend them. I like them. I thought they were
You
cool.
can also buy them through your website, right? Do you have a website?
I do. It's not available for purchase quite yet. I am going to do a
Oh,
website
okay.
revamp, hopefully in the next coming months, and that will be an option. Not
So
quite
people can't
up
buy
and
direct from you, even if they want to buy super sick ass signed copies where you draw little foxes for them.
did I do that? Hell yeah! Shout out to me.
Yeah, good. I don't even know if you can see it, but it's got like a little penis
Dude,
nose.
perfect
Fucking love
drawing.
it.
Does
I love
not
it.
look
It's a
like a
10 out
bird
of
at
10.
all.
No,
Uh,
or a wolf. I mean, it would make sense as a wolf because it's fine. But it
my,
does say here's a pic of a fox.
my
So
immediate thought, unfortunately, was like, that's a really shitty looking eagle. uh,
so nobody can order directly from you and get super fucking sick signed copies
what I'll probably
yet.
end up doing is what I did for Whispers was I opened up direct sales for like just a little bit where I would then
Mm-hmm.
order, 50 or whatever I
Oh,
needed from Amazon. I'll
I see.
probably end up doing that again once Rising Gale's getting ready.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably how I'll do it. So just if you do want signed direct copies from me, I kind of do it on a case by case basis now because I don't really advertise it. But yeah, hit me up, and then also stalk me on Twitter, like my shit, so then I can get favorable
Mm-hmm.
with the algorithm.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I had a good time chatting, and I'll definitely be Googling hella shit that I didn't know anything about, even though running a book
Oh, don't
page I
even
probably
Google. Come to me
know.
directly.